George Washington's First State of the Union, 1790. Fellow citizens of the Senate and of the House of Representatives, I embrace with great satisfaction the opportunity which now presents itself of congratulating you on the present favorable prospects of our public affairs. The recent accession of the important state of North Carolina to the Constitution of the United States, of which official information has been received, the rising credit and respectability of our country, the general and increasing good will towards the government of the Union, and the concord, peace, and plenty, with which we are blessed, are circumstances auspicious, in an eminent degree, to our national prosperity. In resuming your consultations for the general good, you cannot but derive encouragement from the reflection that the measures of the last session have been as satisfactory to your constituents as the novelty and difficulty of the work allowed you to hope. Still further to realize their expectations and to secure the blessings which a gracious Providence has placed within our reach, will in the course of the present important session call for the cool and deliberate exertion of your patriotism, firmness, and wisdom. Among the many interesting objects which will engage your attention, that of providing for the common defense will merit particular regard. To be prepared for war is one of the most effectual means of preserving peace. A free people ought not only to be armed, but disciplined, to which end a uniform and well-digested plan is requisite, and their safety and interest require that they should promote such manufactories as tend to render them independent of others for essential, particularly military supplies. The proper establishment of the troops which may be deemed indispensable will be entitled to mature consideration. In the arrangements which may be made respecting it, it will be of importance to conciliate the comfortable support of the officers and soldiers with a due regard to economy. There was reason to hope that the pacific measures adopted with regard to certain hostile tribes of Indians would have relieved the inhabitants of our southern and western frontiers from their depredations. But you will perceive, from the information contained in the papers which I shall direct to be laid before you, that those measures have not been attended with the success which was desired. To be certain of obtaining redress in the event of such failures, it will be necessary to possess the means of rendering justice to the aggressors, and the expediency of giving effectual encouragement to the humane policy of endeavoring to civilize and improve them will doubtless be consistent with the dictates of sound policy and genuine philanthropy. The Constitution informs us that the organization of the judicial department rests with the legislature. You have, in compliance with this injunction, and with a regard to the public good, established a judiciary on a plan so perfect and so well digested as to merit the approbation of all the friends of good government. The Constitution also authorizes you to provide for the establishment of a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States. I cannot forbear intimating to you the expediency of exercising your authority in a manner which will promote the general welfare. The advancement of agriculture, commerce, and manufactures, by all proper means, will not, I trust, need recommendation, but I cannot forbear intimating to you the expediency of giving effectual encouragement as well to the introduction of new and useful inventions from abroad, as to the exertions of skill and genius in producing them at home, and of facilitating the intercourse between the distant parts of our country by a due attention to the post office and post roads. Nor am I less persuaded that you will agree with me in opinion that there is nothing which can better deserve your patronage than the promotion of science and literature. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness. In one in which the measures of government receive their impression so immediately from the sense of the community as in ours, it is proportionably essential. Whether this desirable object will be best promoted by affording aids to seminaries of learning already established, by the institution of a national university, or by any other expedients, will be well worthy of a place in the deliberations of the legislature. Gentlemen, I saw with peculiar pleasure, at the close of the last session, the resolution entered into by you, expressive of your opinion that an adequate provision for the support of the public credit is a matter of high importance to the national honor and prosperity. In this sentiment I entirely concur, and to a perfect confidence in your best endeavors to devise such a provision as will be truly consistent with the end, I add an equal reliance on the cheerful cooperation of the other branches of the legislature. I am happy to assure you that the estimates of the revenue for the current year will be laid before you, together with a statement of the public debt, foreign and domestic, accompanied with such suggestions as shall be thought expedient. I cannot conclude without expressing my concern that it should have been found necessary to address the legislature with regard to the expediency of measures for the preservation of peace with the Indian tribes. And I feel that it is incumbent upon me to add that the measures recommended are founded on the principles of humanity, justice, and sound policy. I shall take my present leave, but not without resorting once more to the benign parent of the human race, and humble supplication that, since he has been pleased to favor the American people with opportunities for deliberating in perfect tranquility, and dispositions for deciding with unparalleled unanimity on a form of government for the security of their union and the advancement of their happiness, so his divine blessing may be equally conspicuous in the enlarged views, the temperate consultations, and the wise measures on which the success of this government must depend.